Hey guys, Nick Green here. I just wanted to go ahead and do a little quick run through of the app that I use for my gym. I work out at Three Kings CrossFit, and we use an app called Wodify here. We can see on the screen on my phone here that I have is that there's actually two different apps, two different layouts. I'm not sure why there are two different ones, so that's a little confusing in the App Store, but just to go back here, let me get out of the notifications. I'm really interested in collecting data on how well I'm performing. I've done, different versions here in the past, and so I have the different versions of collecting data. I've used a different app called SugarWad. I don't think I have it in here, but anyway, I just wanted to do a quick little run through so you can see your data when you keep track of your workouts. Not in the appointments tab, but they're in the performance section here. So you have my workouts. Today is the 20th, and so you can quickly go in, so you can kind of see, like with your notes, like what you did and the different workouts and everything. But there really isn't a good way to export the data and just kind of see your analytics the way that I would want to look at it, at least for myself, not alone, let alone helping other people. So that's what it looks like. So this, this layout here matches what the current Wodify, screen here is there. But also, there's the black and white version that kind of has this. Let's go out here. It has, why are we looking at notifications? Today's WOD. Okay. Similar layout, but now, after you log in, so I have a different screen when I'm logged in. Now this screen looks the same. So we do see different user interfaces. Oh, it looks like JBT's working out right now. That's really funny. No, I don't want to see JBT. This is a really funny, glitchy part of the interface. This is strange. Let's see if I can turn it off. Open auto, max column size. I just don't want it to pop up. Feedback for any Three Kings listeners out there. Okay. So anyway, so what I did, excuse me, JBT. All right. So apparently we're just going to watch JBT work out this entire time. So what I did notice before I started recording is that to look at, so here we go. Okay, so Wodify looks like a very nice, clean platform. Look at this. Look at all these people. CrossFit Mayhem uses it. CrossFit Dynamics, street parking, all these things. Membership management. It seems to be more user-friendly for the business owner, not so much the athlete, because already I'm noticing that there are too many screens. They don't look alike, and it's confusing. And we just saw Mr. JBT, was it, on their heart rate. So anyway, so we go to my performance, and what I was expecting here was a nice little everything can be exported all at once, but it's not that way. You have to look at, and even, so I'm looking on, going back to my phone here, performance history. I'm looking at that, and so we can kind of see a little, some differences here. So we have, on my phone, you can look at it. This is just too clunky, too hard. You're not going to go through all these on your phone. So quick feedback for Wodify developers. This needs to be way easier to export the data. But let's see how far we can get here. So let's go ahead and look at gymnastics. Gymnastics, again, I don't have any, there are no specific gymnastics categories, it looks like, that our coaches have programmed in here, but there's a lot in the weightlifting category. It looks like I've been doing a pretty good job, and I think this is just the last 30 days. So let's grab last 60 days, see how well I've been doing logging. Okay, good since the 30th there. Let's go this year. And then we have the 14th. Okay, so you can see I started back pretty consistent, right, with logging everything. Metcons, I think I've been fairly consistent here, doing RX and all that. Okay, let's look at the weightlifting tab. Let's go to export. Let's see what these data look like and how easy they are to read. Okay, so downloaded. Let's go ahead and you can see this is the second file here. All right, I'm going to put my phone down. Let's see what they gave us. All right, so we have the date. Good, that's when I did it. That matches there. I'm going to go ahead and do a little side-by-side. All right. Okay, side-by-side here. So we got component. We got the, okay, so the name of the exercise. That matches there, right? Clean with that. Let's just see what happens when we click on the clean. All right, so that goes to the specific entry screen. Okay, and those are my notes I put in today. And then bench press. Interesting, it links to that. Okay. Affiliate, so that is automatically polls. Class name, okay, I did it at 6 o'clock. Interesting piece too also with Wodify is that you can't log your results until you check in, so that's probably just a business practice thing, but anyway. Result, again, if I'm downloading the data, this is going to be very clunky to read and report on, so I mean I would want to look at a screen. I would want to look at a field that's 215. If I did that, and then also if I'm just live in the moment here, if I'm going to crunch these data, I would want to look at a couple different columns. I want to look at the set, right? And we'll look at the reps. So the rep scheme, I think I'm thinking that right. So instead of 215, I would want to look at, I did a 1 by 1 there, right? 1 by 1 by 215. Down here, this would be, I did 1 set of 2, and technically, these data don't capture all the work that we did for that workout. So the final set down here on this deadlift here, my final set was a double at 315. The app doesn't capture all of the data or it doesn't capture all the work that I did. So that's kind of a bummer. Let's see if we can grab that, see how quickly. Again, I'm looking at this, if I'm a coach looking at analyzing somebody's program, I'd want to know all the volume, all the work that's being done here. So let's go to the deadlift on the 4th. Let's just see in retrospect. Okay, we have it here. Oh, maybe I'm getting ahead of myself. Nope, not at all. Okay, so the rep scheme, what was programmed, and I don't know what that looks like. I don't know what that looks like on the coaches end as far as programming, but it looks fairly standardized. I don't understand why we can't just pull that in there and drop it in like that. You guys are making it difficult for me to crunch the data. Okay. So anyway, I would look at this, so then I could, then what am I going to do here? If I'm talking about training, we could start calculating, volume. And so we would do something like, just quick in the moment here, you want to do 315, right? So we want to do equals 315 times 1 set times 2, right? This is essentially going to be 315 times 2, which is 630. So you start getting at that. Let's say I did, 3 sets of 5 at 315. What do those numbers look like, right? That's going to be 4,700 pounds. So again, that regular rep scheme. So I'm just playing around with numbers here, but this initial data entry here, my first interpretation, not the greatest. The numbers here, they're there, it's collected, but you have to do a lot of cleaning of the spreadsheet to really get anywhere. Is personal, okay. I know from the development side of my day-to-day work that this is just, if it was a personal record, the answer here is true. That means yes. If it was not a PR, and this corresponds to what's in the system, so your all-time, it might not be a PR for you really, for your entire life, but it could be in the system here. So this true here, that's going to correspond with the stars, right? So we'll see there should be a bench press true, a bench press star, a overhead squat star. Yep, that matches up perfectly. So that's good there. False, these are all, there's no stars for those, no personal records. So getting back to the personal record description, okay. So on the interface, let's go ahead and go back to the phone. Let's look at the lifting. Lifting here. See, again, if I'm looking at this, I have to go through each individual movement. So which movement was this here? Overhead squat. Okay, got to scroll all the way down to the overhead squat. Done. Let's see what pulls up here. Overhead squat, this was 1 rep max, 200 pounds. Heaviest, okay, I like the heaviest at 1 reps. Okay, weight percentages. This weight percentage here, that is a nice feature. Okay, now we get to a graph, but again, I like the time series, the line graph here, but it is super buried in the app. And as far as graphing goes, it's poorly done. Poorly done. I can do a better job. Anyway, so that's, okay, we're looking at the overhead squat. Let's go back to that now. What did it say here? We're looking at, sorry, I'm just going to move this over so we can see what's happening. All right, we're looking at that overhead squat. What was the description? Okay, I looked at the wrong one. Okay, PR by 5 pounds, 195. Okay, so that's good information, but again, I like feedback when it comes to performance, but that is way delayed, way buried, unless there was a notification that I missed, either on this app. Let's switch back over here. Let's go to the workouts, the components. Let's see if this is any better. Again, this is a cleaner look. I like the purple and the white here. What would we just talk about? We were talking about, over here we're talking about the overhead squat. Again, overhead squat. I think my line, wow, super scrolly. I guess I need to search, right? Let's type in overhead squat. Overhead squat, lifted, okay. Again, I don't recall seeing any type of notification pop up. 2018. So, okay, this is interesting. So, I did have, it doesn't tell me where I did it though. Okay. A gym that I worked at previously used Wodify, and I used my same email address, so I kept my historical records in there. Well, that's kind of cool. Anyway, so we're just navigating, getting back to the spreadsheet here. Total weight, performance result type, total weight, total weight. I'm not really sure performance result type. This doesn't really correspond to any column here, so I'm not really sure. That's kind of confusing. Comments, that matches up with that page there, and then from weightlifting total, true, false. So if these movements correspond to some type of weightlifting total, let's see. So yeah, these movements here correspond to what appears to be programmed, but that doesn't seem right. Anyway, so this was just a quick look at how the data are organized in the Wodify app. And again, as a user, if I'm an athlete that wants to nerd out on my performance data, a couple problems. It's really hard to get to. It's not intuitive. You have to do a lot of searching around on the apps. You have to do a lot of clicking around on the website. It's not very clean. It's not segmented the way I would like it to be. But again, maybe there's not a big demand there for them to improve it. But anyway, so those are kind of my main takes here on the export. So let's just quickly look. Let's see how all these other all Metcons last 30 days. Let's go last 60 days. I'm gonna just export. Just to see how the Metcon data are organized. Okay, so here, again, this is just a text box, it looks like, that's copied. Very difficult to grab all of the information. What do we have here? We have the component. This matches up to a number. This doesn't do anybody any good. Class name, that's when we class. So again, these data, when they're exported, they're there. You have to do a lot of back-end scrubbing. You got to delete things. You got to pull it out. So I am not impressed with the export, other than the fact that it exists and you can grab it. That's how the Metcons are. Let's get a quick look at the weightlifting totals. We just did this week, so let's see how they break this down. I'm going to bet it's just 630 and 750 on a spreadsheet. Let's see if I'm right. Performance results 3. They should have renamed this Performance Results Weightlifting Totals. Come on, guys. Or gals. Here we go. Let's see. I put money on that they would just do that. Yeah, they didn't even break down the movements as they relate to it. So that's a bummer. See, they're just 630 and 750. Too bad, so sad. All right, don't save that. And we'll just My PRs, let's see what this is like. All components, last 30 days. Let's look at this year, all my PRs. Reset? No. I only have 4 PRs this year. Well, that's a bummer. That doesn't. So it must be it's only based on weightlifting. So again, it's going to be these data that are pulled. They renamed this one Performance Results PRs. Okay, let's take a look. Let's see what the PRs are. And same type of thing. Data's all. So it's the same. It's the same general format. Anything else? Add performance. Okay. Gymnastics. We're doing pick lists and pull downs. We can search, I guess. Let's say chest to bar. Okay. We did a chest to bar, add. What do we do? Yeah, this is not very easy to use. Okay. Anyway, those are kind of my first takes, just to quickly review. You can grab the data. Again, I went on a tangent, so this is the second closing here. So you can get the data. It's very clunky. You have to clean it. But it's there. Hopefully this video was helpful. So let me know if you like any other video or any other app out there. And if it's better, I'd love to hear about it. If you're a Wodify developer, let's talk. Well, there we go. Nick Green with Behavior Fit, signing off.